everyone to a celebration of Malc's life. Malcom Derek Foster. Just hearing his name makes you smile. He was a true entertainer and had most of us at one time or another laughing our heads off. Today is going to be a celebration of his life, and I reckon he'll be looking down today blown away by the amount of people that have turned out to pay their respects. Of course, he made his entrance to Town Star just like he would when he was doing the discos back in the day. Martin told me that Mal would put his speaker out on the roof and play his music, and it could be heard up at the garage. Apparently anyone in their gardens on a Sunday loved it. Mal leaves behind his son Alfie and his partner Lucy and his granddaughters Nancy, Elsie and Scarlett. Malcom, known to some as Talcum, or just plain old Talc, was born on the 18th of March 1952 to parents Derek and Margaret, growing up with his brothers Michael and Martin and his sister Bev. The family home started out in number 5 Churchfields. As the family grew, they moved to number 7 Workhouse Lane. Margaret would take her children hop picking. They were all required to get stuck in. However, Matt would often try to run off, so she'd tether him to the hop pole during the mornings that he had to help, and then would release him in the afternoon. He and his brothers would often go into the woods to help their dad during the school holidays. He attended Westfield Primary School, then on to Clavering, often hiding behind the hedge from the Clavering coach with his brothers so they could go home and explain to their mum how they'd missed the bus. She conveniently did not drive and the dad would already be at work, so no other way of getting to school. Martin shared with me how as kids they went to the zoo with their cousin and Malcom threw one of the monkeys a marble, and how he once hid up behind some parrots in a cage and spoke to people as they walked past. People could not believe how well the parrots were talking. Martin told me he was in absolute hysterics. He was a proper mischievous lad with a twinkle in his eye, and let's face it, that never left him. Malc had an excellent work ethic and began working from an early age at paper round, helping a lady down Wheel Lane with her goats, and mowing gardens. His first full-time job was at Fawn Glass in Silver Hill. From there he worked at Crow Manor Farm, helping milk the cows and general farmhand. Next for Malc was Roberts Bridge Garden Machine Centre, repairing mowers. He got laid off from that job and then struggled to find employment. Now 18 years old, he went home and informed his parents that he had joined the army. Private Foster was in 311 Para-Regiment and served for 3 years. 2 of those years were out in Ireland, where he was stationed for 18 months, only returning home for a short while before returning back for a further 6. This when Ireland was at the height of its troubles, and it was an incredibly hard time for him. Martin shared with me how when he was on leave, he struggled to sleep, so in the early hours of the morning, he would take a walk around the village. Whilst in the army, he gained the nickname Piggy by his sergeant. Malc was babysitting for the sergeant's kids and was told, "There's food in the fridge, help yourself to anything." So Malc did, eating a whole cooked chicken. It was also during this time that Malc was driving around in a bubble car, announcing to his dad, "I'm driving back to Aldershot now." His dad replied, "In that thing, you'll never make it." Martin told me it was winter time and he was all wrapped up to keep warm. On arriving back at barracks, he parked the car on the parade ground. In the morning, the sergeant was asking whose monstrosity was parked outside. And as much as they all took the piss, many of the soldiers would borrow it. On leaving the army, Malc began working as a forklift driver for Steels and then on to noontime foods. He told Alfie never to eat jelly babies because when they fell off the conveyor belt, they got picked back up and thrown back on. Alfie told me, "I've never touched one since." Mark recalled there being a sugar shortage whilst his brother was working there, except for the Foster household, as Malc would acquire supplies from his works. He then began working as a caretaker and workshop technician at Clavering. And if you went to Clavering, I'm sure, like me, you remember his big smile and his brown jacket that he always used to wear. It was at Clavering that he made a dear friend and the drama teacher, Rowena Finch. The two friends were like a comedy duo. They would even perform on stage together and have everyone falling about laughing. After many years of working at Clavering, he left and went to McNichol's and then Murphy's. At Murphy's, he was more of a supervisor, driving around overseeing gangs, a job he very much enjoyed. All the banter with the office staff and the gang out on the roads. He also liked the driving, having a smart company car to drive about in. A far cry from his three-wheeler that he would bob about in those early years. I wonder how many of you here recall his orange three-wheeler with the sunstrip, Mal and Val. Finally, Mal got a job in the bakery at Asda, where he made many friends, including his dear friend Sue, who he took to Westfield Lights to introduce her to everyone. I'm now going to roll back to the 90s. Malc had a love of birds of prey. This interest was shared with Graham and Alan. He'd often attend the country fairs, and this is how he got to know Yolanda. Of course, Malc soon had a bowled over by his chat and his big personality. They began living together in Sutherland, along with Yolanda's son, Charlie. The couple went on to have Alfie in 1997. Malc was there for the birth. Unfortunately for Yolanda, one of Malc's mates, I believe Mike D, was also in the labour ward with his wife. So Malc did what only Malc would do, and that is invited him in to have a chat, whilst Yolanda was in active labour. Yolanda told me, I had one each side of me chatting, you just couldn't make it up. Malc was a proper hands-on dad, and even after the couple separated, they remained good friends, and Malc was able to see Alfie as often as he could. This meant that he would collect Alfie every weekend, and there'd be often an outdoor adventure of some kind. As I've mentioned, this time Malc was very much into his birds of prey, owning kestrels, various owls, buzzards, and a falcon. He soon got Alfie handling the birds from a young age. He was one of the youngest to show birds of prey, and because of his dad and all those years of experience, Alf told me he still gets the occasional call asking for his assistance at shows. Alf shared with me, many of our weekends are spent at the owl sanctuary owned by my godfather Bruce in the New Forest. We came home once with a baby otter called Henry. He used to get in the bath with me and sleep in the washing machine with the door open. Dad loved the heavy horses and enjoyed attending shows and ploughing matches, such as the steam show in Dorset with his good friend Amy and his pal Mick. He eventually got his own shire called Rupert, who we loved to show together. I would take Rupert into room as a young handler. We would go on camping holidays where everything was organised and everything had its rightful place. Malc would let Alfie do all sorts, and Willie, whilst laughing, recalled him and Shane being in the van the way Malc let Alfie sit on his lap and reverse the van in Pete Keeley's field where they used to make the effigies in the barn. All was going well, and then bam! A huge noise and sizzling and sparks. Alfie reversed into a high voltage power line, the only one in the field. Alfie shared with me. We would always be outdoors doing something together. Dad taught me so much, including mechanics. If we were not at a country fair, doing something with the birds or the horses, we'd be doing something with the fireworks. His practical gene and his passion of being out in the countryside has definitely been passed down to me. We will now listen to the song, How Do I Say Goodbye, chosen by Alfie. Please take this time to remember all the good times you shared with Mel.
Early morning, there's a message on my phone. It's my mother saying, darling, please come home. I fear the worst. How could you leave this all behind? There's so much to say, but there's so little time. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of scared of what life without you's like. And I saw the way she looked into your eyes. And I promise if you go, I will make sure she's alright. So how do I say goodbye? Someone who's been with me for my whole damn life. You gave me my name and the color of your eyes. See your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? There's no way you could ever let me down. Gonna see you sometime and start again. You'll always be my closest friend. And someday we're gonna make it out. Just hold the light. Just hold the light high, high. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of your eyes. I see your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? So how do I say goodbye?
Malc, your memory we cherish. And although there's grief today as we say goodbye, there is gratitude for your life. We're truly grateful for the privilege of having shared life with you. But rest now at the end of your days, rest in the hearts and minds of all those who love you. And so with love, we shall leave you in peace, and with respect, we bid you a fond farewell. Now, we cannot be sure what happens to us when we die, but I like to think of Mel enjoying a mug of tea, reunited with his parents and his sister Beth, and any other family and friends who have passed before him. And now they've got Malcom up there, brace yourselves for future storms, because anything to do with him, those thunderclaps are going to get much, much louder. If you'd like to make a donation in memory of Mal, then please do so to Mal's GoFundMe page set up by Alfie. I know many of you have already donated, to which Alfie's asked me to convey his sincere thanks to you all. There is so much more to share, so many more fun memories, so I do hope you'll join Alfie, Martin and the rest of the family at the Robertsbridge Club to continue celebrating Mal's life. There'll be a book of remembrance, so please make sure that you sign it. Also photos on display to see. And a special tribute to Mal at about 5:30, 6 p.m, weather dependent. We finish with a song which Mal loved to sing. And please all feel free to join in if you know the words. He would love that. I'm sure wherever he is, he'll be singing along. It's Combine Harvester by the Wurzels. And so, as Mal would say, wallop.
Come on now, let's get together.
print off read on it and then I'll email it to me.
Photographs the newsletter.
Did you say we're running the first 3 miles or 4?
Do you want to have a
Sorry, David.
Very good job on my society.
There you are, well, dig in. Put something in my purse. Dropping his standards. Do like a man who swims.
I'm Melanie. I've got the senior group there. Yeah.
I want it exactly.
Us real women are going to go.
Running should be up there about 11:30.
Right, we're going to stay.
Oh, really? Is she coming? Not when I come out.
Yeah, right, let's give him an action shot downstairs.
Hiya!
I mean, Wendy.
There's not Wendy. Here comes the bride.
This is your Glen Cottage. So, do you want to see where the actual house was? Have you ever, no. Have you ever been to St Margaret's on the Cliff? It's over. Well, as you like it's way too, you take it's 2 acres on top of the hill and you go it's wide old road right down to the bottom. And so back on the road.
And I don't know.
Come on, love. So steep.
Try not to crush them all then on the way up through, you heathen great booted lumps.
I love it when you talk dirty.
Remember, lads, keep your knees together. Right, lads, keep your knees together. Knees together. Come on.
Oh, yeah, chivalry is not yet dead.
I'll take that food down.
Oh, brilliant. I wonder how much money we've made.
We've lost 5 quid.
My aunt.
Oh, look. Little carpet and drink for money.
Little car.
Oh, look.
We've got a car park over here, so we're in
It's like on the movies.
Sit on top.
Hang on a minute.
You want to go on the road? You show off, you poser.
We're near the pub.
Careful.
Fucking